this one, and then all participants of the speech, udah muncul ya? Yang 48. All participants of the speech,
Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to the online seminar by Lembaga Bahasa dan Kebudayaan Unggul University with the topic Upgrade Your Language Skills for International Networking. I would like to say thank you to all of you for joining us today. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Alicia Tiffany. You can call me Alicia. I am majoring in physiotherapy study and this is my 3rd year in college. I will be the master of ceremony in this event and I am with my partner Efto as the moderator. In today's increasingly interconnected world, language skills become crucial for effective communication. Through this seminar, the participants are expected to gain understanding about the importance of having good language skills and how to improve their language skills for international networking. Now, let me give you a brief picture of our activities today. First, we will be listening to the national anthem Indonesia Raya and Mars Esa Unggul, continued by praying before we start the seminar. After that, we will be listening to the opening speech by the Vice Rector of Students and Alumni Affairs of Esa Unggul University. Then, we will move to the main session, which is the speaker presentation, that will be led by Efto as the moderator. After the presentation and the Q&A session done, we will be listening to the closing speech by the Head of Language and Culture Center of Esa Unggul University. I would like to remind you all to fill the attendance form that have been sent in the chat room. And for your information, you will only get your certificate if you participate from the beginning until the end of the meeting. Alright, now let's hear the national anthem of Indonesia and Mars Esa Unggul.
Universitas Esa Unggul putra putri bangsa, siap berbakti untuk Indonesia. Tegakkan cita-cita, wujudkan mimpi bersama. Bukti bakti mengabdi untuk negara. Universitas Esa Unggul putra putri bangsa, berkarya dengan penuh sukacita. Dengan bangga memakai jubah alma mater kita, kukuhkan sikap untuk jadi pedoman. Terang-terang tatap ke depan, kuatkan hati capai masa gemilang. Bersama Esa Unggul majukan Nusantara, dengan tekad kuat kita jaya. Universitas Esa Unggul putra putri bangsa, siap berbakti untuk Indonesia. Tegakkan cita-cita, wujudkan mimpi bersama. Bukti bakti berbakti untuk negara.
Okay, now I would like to invite all of you to pray according to your respective religion so this event can go well. Pray begins. Done. Now I would like to invite you to listen to the opening speech by Mr. Ari Pambudi as the Vice Rector of Students and Alumni Affairs of ESA Unggul. Please welcome Mr. Ari.
Suaranya masih di mute, Pak Ari suaranya.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ari, you are still mute.
Nggak connect katanya, omnya nggak connect. Nggak, dia nggak.
Bisa dibukain nggak hostnya? Dari host aja.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sebelum saya memberi sambutan, izinkan saya untuk berpantun terlebih dahulu. Berbagi nasi bareng Aukarin. Cuaca panas jadi berkeringat. Selamat pagi para hadirin, jangan cemberut, mari semangat. Memberi coklat tanda setia kepada pacar di hari jadian. Beri selamat untuk panitia, semoga lancar tanpa halangan. Before we get started, I would like to express my appreciation to our speaker who generously helped us make this seminar come true, Mrs. Daniel Bernecker, Mrs. Sim Inlai, Mr. Yuta Otake, and we could not have done it without you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by giving you some background information. The world of information and communication technology is growing rapidly. 10 or 5 years ago, no one would have been able to predict what it will be like now. Communication that occurs is not only limited to the people with one country, but with people outside the country or even across continent. People in variety of country use English to communicate. An increased level of English proficiency can be helpful when seeking employment, pursuing higher education, and adapting to multicultural society. Understanding English could allow you to communicate with more people and improve your job prospect. So, how do we improve our English skill? Discovering ways to improve your English skill begins with the 4 basic language skill of speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Receptive input, including listening and reading, exposes people to authentic language. Speaking and writing are example of productive output, with its action of producing language and as part of the learning process. Some ways how to improve English communication skill could be achieved by practicing speaking, listening, reading, and writing skill. An important element of effective communication is the ability to convey information verbally in a way the listener could understand speaking. Speaking involves exchange information with the listener and responding to that information. Speaking English more fluently can lead to more interesting, exciting, and insightful conversation. The ability to listen and interpret message is essential to communication. Good listening facilitate accurate communication, and help ensure comprehension. The act of listening is not just about hearing what someone says, but how they speak, such as their tone of voice. Reading skill refer to person's ability to read, comprehend, interpret, and decode writing language and text. Excellent reading skill can prove extreme beneficial for comprehension of writing communication, such as email, text message, and letter. Developing writing skill involves having knowledge and ability related to expression through the writing role. The ability to communicate clearly and constantly through writing is a skill that important in the wide variety of professions. Why is it important to improve your English skill? You can increase your chance of obtaining a position in a multinational company in your home country or abroad by improving your English skill. Learning English is also important for all aspects of socialization and entertainment, as it's the language of international communication media and internet, and understand and English can enable to enjoy film, music, literature from many countries. If you are planning to work for international organization and English isn't your first language, improve your English language skill. Could help you network with college and communication. Finally, by upgrade our ability to communication in English skill, I believe it will be assist us to make wider opportunity for our life. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ari, for your opening speech. Before we move to the next session, let's take a screenshot for today's event documentation. So, open your camera and please keep your camera on until the end of the meeting, so the speaker can see you all and be more interactive. Is everyone ready? Okay, we will take the photo now. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, 3. Last. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we are going to the main session, which will be led by Efto. Please welcome Efto.
All participants of the speech, Mr.
thank you very much, Alicia, for the time. And yes, my name is Efto, and I will be the moderator in this webinar. I am from the Faculty of Teaching and Educational Science. And first of all, I would like to say thank you for all of the participants that joined in this webinar. And also thank you for all of the keynote speakers. Yeah? There are 3 keynote speakers. The first one is Miss Daniel Bernaker. Oh, maybe I want to greet all of the speakers one by one. Miss Daniel, hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Daniel. It's been a long time.
It has.
All right. Thank you very much for joining with us in this webinar. All right. The second speaker is Miss Sim In Lie. 안녕하세요, Miss Sim. Are you there? Hello, Miss Sim.
Okay. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Actually, I can speak Korean, but only for 안녕하세요 and 사랑해요. The other Korean word. Okay, thank you very much for joining us with us, Miss Sim. And yes, the third speaker is Mr. Yuta Otake, but maybe he's not here yet, and he can come later. But first of all, I would like to read all of the CVs of the speakers. Maybe I can go from Miss Daniel Bernaker first. Daniel Bernaker is a mentor of English Pro Club at Unggul University since 2021. She graduated from West Coast Baptist College with Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education in 2010. And she also worked as math and science teacher in several schools in USA. And next we have Miss Sim In Lie from Korea as our second speaker. She was born in South Korea in 1976, and she was graduated from Gongju National University with English Literature and Language degree in 1998, and she continued her study in UKI, or Indonesian Christian University, Jakarta, and got her degrees as Master of Education in 2003. She also finished a BIPA course in University of Indonesia in 2002, and she worked as a Korean language teacher in several universities in Indonesia, and those are Atmajaya University, Trisakti University, and Pajajaran University. And lastly, we have Mr. Yuta Otake. Yuta Otake is a teacher, trainer from USA. He graduated from Wesleyan University with Bachelor of Art with honors in East Asian Study. And he also graduated from New York University with Master of Arts in TESOL. He currently works in American Council, Washington, D.C., USA, and he also the founder of Mangrove Education Indonesia. So you can see there are incredible speakers that will be presenting their speech. And maybe we can go to Miss Daniel first. Miss Daniel, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. So.
Miss Daniel, you have 25 minutes to deliver your presentation. And if you are ready, the time is yours.
I'm ready. All right. For some reason, I thought I had 15, but that's okay. Oops, wrong button. If you come to ePro Club, then you know I talk way too fast a lot. But I'm just going to say thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited that you guys would give up your Saturday morning to come to this webinar to better yourselves. I also just want to thank you for your patience. I might have to mute myself a little bit. If you can probably hear, I'm fighting a cold. I don't sound this bad in real life. So if you come to ePro Club, you won't have to listen to this voice. That's just what you get today. But I just want to say, for me, networking has been something that I have benefited from. I never would have thought that I would be a mentor for the English club in Indonesia, especially having never been able to travel there. So definitely one of the things you want to think about, even if you don't want to join the English club, even if you don't have aspirations to work for a multinational company and you don't think you might need English for your future, just think about your network around you and the network you're building. And what is a network? And those are the people around you that are there that like you and will support you. They can be coworkers, colleagues, family, friends. So just even like acquaintances. So I would encourage you to think about the people around you. And if you have a strong network, or does your network need improvement? And how diverse is your network, right? So for me, if I didn't have some friends that were diverse, I would not be speaking in Indonesia right now, right? So kind of want to have a diverse network, people with differing opinions, different viewpoints that can maybe help some of your weaknesses and give you different ideas, because you might use them to have a sounding board in your life. So think about what kind of network you have and how strong it is, and who is in your network. There might be people in your network that you don't want in your network. So I would ask you this: if you think about the people in your life that you are leaning on for support, what reference would you give them if their employer was to ask them for a reference? What would you be able to say about the people in your group? Like, oh, my friend Joe, he's a hard worker, he's always on time, he's really honest, or he steals, he's going to be late. You don't want him to work for you. Kind of think about that. And what are some other benefits of being in a network? Well, you might hear about new opportunities first, like before they're available to the public. Like maybe there's going to be a job opening and your friend knows, hey, I know you've wanted to get out my company. I heard they're hiring soon. You shoot your application in before the listing is available. Maybe there's a new house coming available and you're looking to buy one. Just training opportunities to better your career, you can hear about through networking. And also, you get some advice if you have some mentors in your network, and you have surrounding board for new ideas, better, so you can expand your creativity, but also you can develop into the lives of others. And I'm going down. One thing I can encourage you though, for your network, make sure you have good character that people can leave a good reference for you. So not only do you want people that you can have a good reference, but they can give a good reference for you. Make sure you build relationships and stay in contact, and when they help you, show gratitude and be sure that you're able to help those in your network as well. And ePro Club, even Korean Club, will give you access to new classmates, new mentors. It will hopefully put you out of your comfort zone, so you're getting used to trying new things. It'll get you used to the language and the culture that hopefully you'll get to work with and use, but maybe not. But you will still have built your network. And sometimes there are cash prizes, so do the contest, put yourself out there. So thank you guys for your time, and I guess I am done now.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Daniel, for your insight. And if you have any question to Ms. Daniel, you can type your question in the chat box, or you can use your microphone to ask the question for Ms. Daniel, but in Q&A session, not now. Okay, maybe we can go to Ms. Sim Inlie first. And Ms. Sim, the same as Ms. Daniel, you have 25 minutes to deliver your presentations. Ms. Sims, are you ready?
My turn? 안녕하세요. Sudah dengar tentang saya sudah tinggal lama di Indonesia, jadi saya lebih selain bahasa sendiri, bahasa Indonesia lebih bagi saya lebih lancar ya. dan ban갑습니다. Hari ini saya presentasikan tentang pentingnya belajar bahasa Korea. Biar waktunya singkat, saya langsung ke presentasi. Apa ini bantu Bapak? Iya. Udah.
Minta bisa itu open itu to share.
Share. Oh, bisa bantu untuk share presentasi?
Yes, Miss Sin.
Oh iya, oke.
Okay. Can you send the, what is that, PowerPoint?
Ya, PowerPoint.
Okay.
Ya.
Yes.
Oke. Ya, perlunya belajar bahasa Korea di sini. Sekarang mah ini baju saya juga tidak tanya ya, ini baju dari mana, ini kostumnya sudah tahu tentang hanbok. Saya bikin beberapa poin.
Oh, di sana jadi minoritasnya. Di sini mayoritas.
Di sini sejarah perkembangan bahasa Korea. Di bahasa Korea di seluruh dunia ini bagaimana berkembangnya. Pertamanya banyak perusahaan Korea ekspansi ke luar negeri. Orang Korea tanahnya kecil ya. Apa karena tanahnya kecil begitu antusiasi ilmu-ilmunya, khususnya IT. Ya, dalam bagian ini banyak perusahaan membuat produk-produk Koreanya di beberapa yang negara-negara maju maupun di Indonesia juga banyak, dan sampai negara-negara yang berkembang juga Afrika, banyak negara perusahaan Korea sekarang didirikan. Dan keduanya Hallyu. Tentang Hallyu sudah tahu ya, industri kreatif seperti K-pop dan Korean drama. Kalau K-pop baru-baru ini di Indonesia namanya Blackpink di Bung Karno. Begitu, wah, nggak usah apa tambah-tambahkan, itu hebohnya bagaimana Blackpink di Stadion Bung Karno selama 2 hari sampai tidak muat lagi, begitu banyak peminat datang untuk melihat Blackpink, dan juga BTS, nama BTS juga sampai dipanggil di Presiden Amerika juga. Terus Korean drama itu saya pilihnya dari beberapa macam. Kenapa Korean drama? Untuk belajar bahasa Korea, nadanya dan budayanya itu yang melalui drama. Saya kan ketemu banyak mahasiswa. Oh, gimana bisa belajar bahasa Koreanya dengan nadanya cocok kayak orang Korea gitu kan? Mereka kebanyakan dari drama. Jadi nadanya, sikapnya hampir sama dengan orang Korea bicarakan. Dan pariwisata ini bisa lihat banyak pengunjung dari orang Indonesia ke Korea, dari Korea ke Indonesia juga. Jadi pesawat ke Korea dan ke Indonesia tidak pernah sepi ya, itu bisa tahu di bandara juga. Dan diplomatik, hubungan antar pemerintahan. Jadi karena perusahaan besar dari Korea juga datang ke sini, dan proyek-proyek banyak di Indonesia, banyak MOU terjadi di pemerintahan. Di situ juga ya pasti perlunya bahasa, ahli bahasa ya. Sekarang bahasa Korea ini bukan hanya bahasa bagi beberapa orang atau seperlunya beberapa saja, tapi khususnya bagi mahasiswa harus belajar bahasa Korea. Ya, lebih lanjut lagi, perlunya bahasa Korea bagi orang Indonesia. Yang tadi juga saya sudah bicarakan, banyak perusahaan Korea berdiri di Indonesia, diutamakan pasti karyawan yang bisa berbahasa Korea. Karyawan yang bisa berbahasa Korea itu langsung dapat jabatan yang bisa kontrol yang orang Indonesia gitu. Jadi saya lihat langsung jadi diri, cajang itu ada jabatan-jabatannya langsung dikasih walaupun baru masuk juga. Dan karena banyak orang Korea untuk mau ketemu pemerintahan maupun pengusaha CEO-nya di Indonesia, mereka perlu jasa penterjemah, orang yang bisa ahli bahasa Korea. Dan juga ya melalui belajar bahasa Korea ada basicnya bisa melanjutkan pendidikan Korea. Dan juga bekerja di Korea juga, waktu bekerja kalau bahasanya tidak bisa ya terhambatnya banyak, salah komunikasi, salah mengerti, ya tambah stres gitu ya. Jadi bekerja juga kalau belajar bahasa Korea lebih mudah di Korea untuk bekerja dan mengenal budaya dan ilmu pengetahuan. Ini maksudnya sekarang budaya dan ilmu pengetahuan di Korea udah banyak yang unik-unik dari segi makanan, terus rumah kan ada 4 musim, baju, sehari-harinya bagaimana itu di dalam buku-buku juga sangat banyak di Korea. Belum terjemahin juga segitu banyak. Kalau udah tahu bahasa Korea, ilmunya lebih mendalam. Jadi sekarang bukan hanya annyeonghaseyo, 감사합니다, tapi lebih harus lebih lanjut lagi untuk yang perlunya, yang poin-poin ini. Dan terakhirnya saya tambahan bagi kita masing-masing perlunya bagaimana Korea itu dijajah juga ya, dijajah Jepang begitu habis, tapi bisa berdiri lagi, berkembang sampai sekarang. Itu salah satunya itu semangat ya, untuk masa depannya, untuk generasi berikutnya bagaimana ini yang sudah habis. Pengemis juga banyak waktu setelah perang. Tapi melalui semangat ini, dinamik Korea bisa apa? Buku. Ya, melalui buku-buku juga bisa tahu, dan sikapnya ini, sikap attitude ini perlunya saya fokusnya tentang kesetiaan. Sikap kesetiaan itu selama saya lihat di pekerja-pekerja di Korea maupun di Indonesia, tentang orang Indonesia itu, penilaian orang Korea yang paling tidak bagusnya orang Indonesia nggak setia gitu. Ini networkingnya bahasa dan hati lah ya, hati. Jadi kalau sudah saya kerja di sini sampai saya matang dan pengalaman cukup, jadi satu hati, ada rasa memilikinya, disikap pekerja orang Indonesia masing-masing harus jelas dalam kesetiaan. Ya, sekian untuk belajar bahasa Korea. Ya. Makasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sims. And I think there is a technical problem, and maybe we can go to Ms. Daniel. We can back to Ms. Daniel because Ms. Daniel wants to continue her presentation. Okay, Ms. Daniel, are you ready?
All right, I'm here. So
Continue.
yes. Sorry. All right. So apparently 5 minutes, 25 minutes. What's the difference? Let's see here. Yes. Woo. All right. Okay. So as I was saying earlier, but way too fast, how good is the network you are building? Because you are currently building a network. It's in the people you work with, the people you go to school with, your family, your friends, acquaintances, anyone that is connected to you and thinks highly of you, enough to give you a good referral. That's who is in your network. And you can go to them to find support. You can excuse me, sorry, as well. So I'd encourage you to look at the people in your network, and figure out who they are, and make sure that there are people that you want in your network. You obviously don't want someone who's going to think poorly of you, someone who's not going to offer support, someone who's going to put you down or drag you down with them. So make sure that. And why do you want to network? As Mr. Ari said in the beginning, it gives you better job opportunities, can help you hear about just better opportunities in general. Right now, you guys are young and you have probably a lot of opportunities. There's so many different directions you can go and things you can, clubs you can join, different classes you can take as extracurriculars, just all these things you can do. But when you get older and you get into a career, your opportunities get smaller. And you almost have to create them for yourself, especially if it's anything outside of just professional development for the job you're in. So networking helps you to keep those opportunities open. Maybe you want to change jobs. Maybe you want to change careers. Networking helps with that. Maybe you're looking to buy a new car. Your friend might know a good car dealer or, a good realtor, just all these things. It doesn't have to all be work related. It can also give you access to advice. You can have a mentor in your network. And so that is helpful. And you can get support from other people in your career field and just have a sounding board for new ideas. So if you need some extra ideas for creativity, you can get that from a network, as well as you can also work on developing others as well, because you don't just always constantly take. So look at the people in your network and ask yourself, who is in my network and what reference would I write for them? If you can't provide them a good reference, then you probably don't want them in your network. I didn't say cut them out of your life, but keep that in mind for your network, who you're going to call on for different things. And then as far as how to have a network, some things I would suggest: have good character. So people can write a good reference for you. If you need to have someone write a reference for you to get a job or a scholarship or just, an internship, anything, you want to make sure that you have good character so they can say good things about you that are true. And you want to work on building relationships and maintaining those relationships. And thankfully, with social media, it makes it pretty easy. But if you don't stay in contact, you can kind of start to lose your network as well. And you want to make sure to provide support to the others inside your network. If you know someone's struggling and you're able, to give them a job lead or give them encouragement, give them some advice, then make sure you're able, you do that if you can. And then also you want to be able to show gratitude if they did give you a job lead. Even if you didn't get the job, but they still provided you with that opportunity, definitely make sure you say thanks. And then how can ePro Club or Korean Club help with your network? You're going to have access to new colleagues, even mentors, and you're going to get comfortable around different people and cultures. So one of the things you want is a diverse network. Like I said earlier when I was going really fast, I would not be here speaking in front of you today if I didn't have a diverse network, because I would not have known the right connections to be in this position. So definitely networking is a beautiful thing when done right, but it is important to get comfortable around different people and cultures, and you don't have to embrace them and make them your own, but just to be aware of them and to be able to acknowledge them, so you're respectful of them and communicating them. And I think being a part of ePro Club helps you leave your comfort zone, especially when they make you sing. We didn't do that last year, just the first year. So don't worry. I think we're safe. I think we broke that tradition. But it's important sometimes to leave your comfort zone to help yourself grow, to grow as a person. And sometimes there are prizes. I know at ePro Club we like to do like an English story competition. There's been debate. There's been a few different competitions, and there are cash prizes. In America, we only get pizza, so definitely go for the cash. But this will all help you grow as a person, and it can grow your circle of people in your network. So I definitely think it is important to take those opportunities while you can. But also, one of the main things is just getting proficient in English or Korean if you want to pursue a job. English ePro Club gives you an opportunity to practice your English. I don't really jump on people for mistakes. I just want you guys to practice. Turn on your cameras and speak and share. I do try to have fun, but the main thing is just to get some practice going because the only way you'll ever get proficient is by practicing. And ePro Club gives you that opportunity. And people will be like, and your network will be like, yes, that is the guy that won the prize for the storytelling. He is my rich friend now because he won the prize. No, but seriously though, get the practice because that'll serve you all throughout your life. All right, now I think that convinced. I don't think that hit 20 minutes, but I tried. I will give the floor back to Efto.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Daniel. And now you are actually done. Okay, thank you very much also for Miss Sims. And we should go to Mr. Yuta Otake, but seems like he haven't come in yet. So we can go to Q&A session first. If you have any questions, you can write the questions on the chat box. Or you can also turn on your microphone and ask orally to our speakers. So I'll give you time to organize your questions. And can you help me to, bisa dibantu untuk lihat questionsnya apakah ada di chat box? Belum ada, oke. Okay guys, if you have any questions, you can send the questions in the chat box. While waiting for Mr. Yuta Otake. No questions? All right, so in the previous presentation, Ms. Sims has already told us about the importance of learning Korean, pentingnya belajar bahasa Korea karena bahasa Korea itu sedang tren ya di Indonesia dan dalam beberapa tahun terakhir ya saya pikir banyak sekali orang Indonesia yang berbondong-bondong untuk belajar bahasa Korea karena memang budaya Korea sedang tren meskipun memang lebih tren ke yang boy band, girl band gitu. Tapi ya memang betul mempelajari bahasa lain as I learn English so much, so it really fun. Okay, I think we have questions here. I will help you to read the questions. Yeah, the questions from Susanti. Ibu Sim. Oh, ini questions is using bahasa Indonesia, it's okay. Susanti said, Ibu Sim, bagaimana memulai untuk belajar bahasa Korea dari nol? Mungkin Miss Sims, you can answer.
Oke. Ya. Kalau bahasa Korea itu hurufnya beda dengan ABCD. Jadi ada namanya Hangul, itu dari mulainya giok, nin, digetil. Ada konsonan 19, vokal ada 21, jadi ada 40 huruf. Gitu. Harus belajar dulu. Jadi kalau basicnya itu hurufnya beda banget dengan ABCD. Jadi belajar huruf dulu walaupun susah hafal satu-satu. Tapi kalau sudah hafal 40 huruf ini, ya nanti bisa baca dan ada hurufnya, susunan hurufnya, vokal sama konsonan, ada juga konsonan sama vokal, ada juga konsonan, vokal, konsonan. Jadi ada namanya bacim juga. Kalau sudah tahu gabungannya yang 3 macam ini, udah bisa mulai baca. Setelah mulai bisa baca bahasa Korea, kata-katanya bisa baca kan. Kalau udah mulai bisa baca itu lebih mudah, tinggal hafal misalnya yang gampang ya, timun itu OI kan udah bisa baca, OI itu timun. Jadi untuk mau belajar bahasa Korea lebih mahir, lebih lanjut, harus hafal namanya Hangul itu alfabet ya, alfabet. Jadi, kalau belajar alfabet itu di berbagai, di internet juga banyak, di online juga banyak. Tapi kadang tulisan Korea di tangan sama di internet beda, bisa juga beda. Jadi kalau ada guru orang Korea atau tahu hurufnya bahasa Korea, yang tulisan juga harus lihat. Misalnya namanya huruf ciut. Huruf ciut itu di komputer sama yang langsung tulis agak beda juga ada. Jadi kalau huruf di komputer mah disesuaikan bentuknya, tapi kalau sehari-hari tulis itu huruf ciut itu agak beda juga, jadi nggak bisa mengerti. Atau terus waktu konsonan sama vokal digabung ada posisinya, yang vokalnya tulisnya di posisi mana, itu juga harus tepat belajar. Jadi bisa juga kalau sendiri belajar posisinya agak aneh gitu ya, itu bisa belajar yang sudah tahu huruf Korea ya. Jadi harus belajar Hangul dulu ya. Kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sims, for the answer. And I think we have some questions waiting from Tabita. Saya mau upgrade bahasa Korea. I want to upgrade my Korean. Apakah di ESA Unggul ada? Yes. Maybe I can help to answer these questions. Yes, you can join Hangari Korean Club. Di ESA Unggul ada yang namanya itu Hangari Korean Club ESA Unggul. So you can join in that club, and then you can you can learn more about Korean. And the second questions, oh yeah, Hangari Korean Club is 100% free. Okay. Next questions. Miss Sims, I have a questions. I do have interest to learn Korean deeply. But my bachelor doesn't relate to Korean. If I apply a job to Korea company just with my Korean test certificate without my bachelor degree, is it acceptable? Miss Sims?
Walaupun jurusannya beda, kalau ada setiap perusahaan itu ada namanya interview, ditentukannya di situ. Jadi memang jurusan juga penting, tapi di situ kan ada kemampuan bahasa, juga ada ya kemampuan bahasa Korea, basicnya atau mediumnya atau mahirnya, di situ dicantumin. Lalu itu dia pasti coba juga bahasa Koreanya seberapa, daripada jurusan bahasa Korea yang kurang lancar, jurusannya beda, dia lebih mengerti bahasa Korea, lebih tahu, lebih lancar bahasa Koreanya, langsung tertarik pasti orang Korea. Karena ya maaf juga orang Korea belum banyak yang bisa bahasa Indonesia, jadi mereka maunya cepat-cepat cari orang Indonesia yang bisa berbahasa Korea. Jadi kalau kemampuannya udah yakin dan di interview itu langsung ditentukan, ini yang bisa bantu saya. Ya, makasih.
Alright, thank you very much, Miss Sims, for the answer, and we can go to the next questions. Izin bertanya, untuk kegiatan di Proklab dimulai tanggal berapa? Dimulai hari ini, dan kita akan mulai lagi di minggu-minggu ke depan seperti regular meeting biasa, dan nanti akan diinfokan lagi di grup WhatsApp. And this is the question for Miss Daniel. Miss Daniel, I have a question. How to build self-confidence for people who are just practicing speaking English? Miss Daniel, you can answer the question now.
All right, that is a great question, and I think it's one that has come up a lot when we do ePro Club meeting. One thing I can tell you is just you have to practice and know that you're not going to be perfect. I'm currently trying to learn American Sign Language. Actually, I started taking a class just to, expand my horizons a little bit. And then when everybody looks at me and I'm supposed to sign a sentence, and it's embarrassing, right? But you know what? We're all learners, and I'm not going to be perfect. They know I'm not going to be perfect. So you're going to make mistakes. Hopefully someone can kindly point them out to you so you can learn. But just know you're not going to be perfect, and give up the expectation of being perfect to start practicing and not worry what everyone thinks while you're practicing. And that's why I would encourage you Pro Club, so you can practice with us instead of practicing like at a job or something like that. So the only thing I can tell you is just to have some humility and not worry about everyone's perception of you while you practice, and know that you are learning, and so that they should accept that you're not going to be perfect, and you need to accept that you won't be perfect as well. And I still make mistakes. I will use the wrong your or their if I'm texting in a hurry, and that's as a native English speaker. So give yourself grace, and just put in the work. Good question.
Okay, thank you, Miss Janiel. And while waiting for Mr. Yuta, we can go to the next questions. Please wait a second. Okay, how to deal with people's views when you still often make mistake in both English and Korean? Thank you. Maybe this question can be answered by Miss Daniel and Miss Sims. Which one is go first? Miss Daniel or Miss Sims? Okay, maybe Miss Daniel, you can go first to answer this question.
Okay, I'd say kind of the same thing. You know, people are gonna think what they're gonna think. You can try to put the best face forward. That's just how it is. Sometimes people are gonna judge you no matter what. So like I just said to the previous question, though, you kind of have to not worry about what everyone's thinking. And sometimes people aren't even thinking about you at all. And just put yourself out there and practice, and which is important. Why you have the network. You know, if you build a network, you can practice in as well. You know, but the sooner you can get over what people think about you, the better. I am in my 30s. And I'm just now getting used to not caring what people think about me. Like, be professional, yes, and be aware of your first impression, but don't worry so much what people think about you, because the people that are going to judge you are going to judge you no matter what. And so if they can't give you patience and give you grace for trying to learn their language, then they are the ones with the problem. So just be aware of that, and just don't worry so much about other people's views. And that's all I can say.
Ya, tentang itu ada pengalaman saya udah usia 47, jurusan saya sebenarnya bahasa Inggris, tapi sebagai orang Asia emang kalau saya nggak lancar bahasa Inggris, ragu-ragu bicara, aduh saya salah gimana, terus mau bicara itunya lebih panjang, jadi ke orang asing jadi nggak jadi mau coba ada orang asing, kan orang Amerika atau orang Eropa yang lancar bahasa Inggris, jadi nggak praktek, jadi sampai sekarang juga bahasa Inggris nggak maju-maju gitu. Jadi kalau ingin mau lancar harus lebih agresif, harus berani gitu ya, jangan malu gitu. Terus muka tembok gitu harus dan dari pihak orang asing mah, kalau misalnya orang Indonesia yang berbahasa Korea ke saya, berbicara bahasa Korea, saya cukup mengerti. Dia kan masih bukan orang Korea juga, dan segitu juga ya udah lumayan. Pas senyum-senyum aja lebih lucu gitu ya, jadi nggak merasa kok bahasa juga segitu, kok mau coba bahasa Korea ke saya nggak pernah bicara, cuma ya segitu juga ya lumayan, ini bisa komunikasi walaupun kata-kata juga bisa itu ya, pakai gesture apapun, bahasa isyarat ya. Jadi itu kalau benar-benar mau lanjut harus berani walaupun patah-patah, walaupun jelek. Jadi lebih baik itu ya, karakternya harus aktif, jangan malu-malu. Jadi kalau malu-malu itu bahasa itu sangat susah maju. Ya, terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Sims. Yes, we have to be courage and confidence, yeah, when we are learning a foreign language. And maybe one more questions, and after that we can go to Mr. Yuta Otake. Maybe I will greet him first. Mr. Yuta Otake, konnichiwa. Are you here? Hello, Mr. Yuta. Where are you?
Hello. I'm sorry, I was muted. Hi, everyone.
Nice. Maybe one more question, and after that, we'll go to you. The question is from Glenn Sanjaya. He said, "Hello, Miss Daniel. I'd like to ask how would one go about getting themselves more proficient very effectively in English? I've had some of my friends in the past tell me that they wanted me to teach them English, but I didn't really know where to start from at all. Thank you." Miss Daniel, you can answer the questions.
Well, I think that is a very good question. I would suggest, I think conversation is probably the best way. It takes the vocabulary and then you learn to put it together in sentence. So if your friends don't know any vocabulary, I'd probably start with common words of things that you can talk about with each other. Sorry, cough drop there. But if your friends, already have some vocabulary, then work on having conversations that will include those words and maybe some new words. So maybe if they watch some TV or listen to some music with English, you can incorporate that. But the main thing I think, other than once they learn the vocabulary, is just learning how to incorporate it into conversation, because that's when you learn to put the words together and like kind of the order of words, because I think that's one of the harder parts of English, is our sentence structure sometimes. That's a very good question.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Daniel, for the answer. And maybe we can continue the Q&A session after Mr. Yuta presentation. And Mr. Yuta, are you ready for the presentation?
Yes, I am. Hold on, let me share my screen.
Okay, you have 25 minutes to deliver your presentation and the time is yours.
All right, hold on. All right, can everyone see my screen? We're good? All right. Selamat pagi, good morning. Esa Unggul. Hello, everyone from Japan. I think I have met many of you before, but my name is Yuta. If I have met you before, nice to see you again. If it is our first time, very nice to meet you. My name is Yuta, and thank you all for joining. Esa Unggul. All right. As usual, let's start with an interactive activity. So here we have a cute image. The task is very simple. Imagine you're posting this photograph on Instagram. Please, everyone, through the chat, please share a hashtag for this photo. So, for example, it could be like hashtag Lebaran, which is coming up. Yeah, so everyone, please interact through the chat. What do you think is a good hashtag for this photo? Hashtag vibing. Hashtag life is so good. Definitely vibing for sure. Hashtag chill. Keep it going, keep it going. I know Esa Unggul students, I know you're all Instagram masters. Hashtag relax. Let's get a few more good ones going. Enjoyable vibes. Oh, I like this one from Yessi. Hashtag waiting for you. Ah, that's a different interpretation. I love that. see if I get one more good one going. Cheers. Nice and simple. All right. Dreaming for THR. What is THR? Can someone share through the chat? I don't. Oh, money? Like dreaming for money? Oh, I see. I like that. There's nowhere better to dream about your money bonus than on the beach. All right. You read my mind exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks for sharing. Again, it's very nice to see all of you. I wish I was at the Esa Unggul studio, but today I am coming from Japan. Okay, next question. This is a zoomed up image of something. What is it? So imagine you're zooming into a photo. What is this? And as you know, it's clearly a zipper. So the question is, what kind of zipper? It's obviously a zipper, right? Ah, there we go. We've got, yes, he says a Gojek zipper. All right. So the first person, Sefadel Ahmad, you said a grab zipper, and you are 100% correct. I'm a huge supporter of these Grab and Gojek delivery, that delivery system, because we don't have that in the States, in the US. So when I was living in Indonesia, I always tried to experience these moments. Next, here we have Indomaret. Please make a sentence about Utah using Indomaret. So now we're taking this a step further. So please make a sentence about me, but you have to use Indomaret. It can be Utah loves Indomaret. It could be Utah goes to Indomaret every day. What do you all think? Okay, you're following the grab photo, right? Utah works at Indomaret. Utah's in love with Indomaret. Utah is Indomaret's model. Oh, I wish. Indomaret is Utah's palace. In some ways, yes, that's true. Oh, I do love Indomie. All right. So just for time, I'm sorry, I'm going to speed this up. Someone said Utah works at Indomaret. Who was that? Glenn Sanjaya. You are correct. I'm a huge Indomaret supporter, and for one day only, when I was living in Jatim in Malang, I worked at Indomaret. I even received a card. Also, another sentence connecting Utah and Indomaret is one day, and this is not a joke, one day my plan is to start my own Indomaret, either in Indonesia or, if possible, in New York. I don't know if there's a market for it in New York, but it's still my dream. So one day I plan to start an Indomaret in New York. So we will come back to these sentences later. You will see why. But today, in just 20 minutes, I would love to give you all 3 simple tips. As you all graduate and enter the world and practice your English and communication, I would like to give you 3 tips. So we'll go through them one by one, yeah? Number 1, don't stress. When in doubt, just ask good questions. So it's normal for all of us, right? Like imagine if I have to speak in Bahasa, I also feel very nervous, or I feel anxious, stressed. I need time to think, yeah? For you, let's say you all graduate Esa Unggul and you're about to enter like a business meeting. How do you all feel? Can you just quickly share through the chat? Do you feel confident? Do you feel excited, stressed? Glenn Sanjaya, quite anxious. Anyone else? Important business meeting, maybe presentation. You're that's yeah, a little bit nervous, or you might feel like you're about to faint. Oh, no sleep the night before. Yeah, I imagine if I had to give a presentation in Bahasa, that I would not sleep the night before. So most of you are talking about feeling a little bit anxious or nervous. And I think this is very, very normal, right? Someone said you feel upset, but also excited. So one quick tip I wanted to give all of you is it's very normal to stress. It's very normal to feel shy. When in doubt, when you feel like, oh, what should I say? Don't panic. Just think of good questions. In any language, whether in Bahasa or in English or Japanese, communication is really built upon question, answer, question, answer. So when you're placed in these situations, just quickly think, how can I ask a good question? And that can kind of carry you through a situation, carry you through a conversation. So questions I know all of you can ask. The next level that I wanted to touch on today is what we call follow-up questions. What this means is this actually happens to me a lot when I'm traveling in Indonesia, where if I meet a class, they'll immediately ask like, hello, what is your name? Where do you come from? What is your hobby? Do you have a brother? Are you married? Right? Where there's 100 questions that are not really connected. So I feel like, oh my God, that's a lot of different questions. Real communication is built on follow-up questions, meaning the questions are always connected, like you're building a conversation step by step. So for example, if I say, hi everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Yuta. I'm from New York. A good follow-up question is, oh, Yuta, what do you like to do in New York? Why do you love New York? Where do you live in New York? So these are follow-up questions. So let's practice. Let's say I tell you, hi everyone, my name is Yuta. I have one brother. Okay, so thinking of follow-up questions, can you, through the chat, please ask some good follow-up questions? If we're meeting for the first time and I told you I have one brother, so you shouldn't ask about nasi padang, right? You should ask me about brother. The key topic is brother, brother. Who's got a follow-up question? How's it? Very simple and straightforward. I love it. How's your brother doing? Good. Keep it going. So remember the topic, the key is don't panic, catch the topic, which in this case is my brother, and think of a question about my brother. So the first one is good. What's his name? Very straightforward, love it. Oh, how many brothers do you have? Is he also in New York? Do you live together? These are great follow-up questions. Let's get a few more. Oh, do you and your brother have a similar look? Great question. How old is your brother? Great. Thank you everyone for sharing. Okay, I see. This is a great connection to nasi padang. Does your brother eat nasi padang? I love that. So I think all of you get the point, right? The key is when you're meeting someone and you have to speak in English, it's very normal. It's natural that we feel anxious. We feel panic, like, I don't know what to say. And we usually have like this conversation where there's too much silence. You know, you're like looking at each other like, What do I say? All right. So don't panic. My tip is think of good questions. And don't just think of random questions, like don't think 10 random questions. Try to connect the conversation. Good communication is all about connecting the questions to the topic of the conversation. Okay, so everyone, excellent. What does your brother do for a living? Another great follow-up question. Tip number 2, I think this is especially important if you're meeting people for the first time, or if you have to introduce yourself, you have to share something about yourself. Try to think of, it doesn't have to be a lot, just 1 or 2 things that make you different, things that are unique. So this is where I want to go back to my original sentences. So, hello everyone, I'm Yuta. My parents are dancers from Japan. I love Indomaret because they can do so many different things. My dream is to open an Indomaret in New York. I run every day because it gives me time to think. So this is this is an example of how I can describe myself and highlight things that make me different, things that make me unique, right? Especially, I'm pretty sure there are not many people from New York who have a dream of opening an Indomaret. So this is something that is different, something that is unique. So, of course, now it's your turn. Okay, so everyone, please think of 1 or 2 sentences and share through the chat. Again, the question is, what makes you different? So do not write, I am a student, I live in Jakarta. No, please tell me something that makes you different, and please share through the chat. It can be 1 sentence, 2 sentences. It's not about the length, it's about what makes you different. Take a moment to think about it. I know this is hard, just take a moment. It can be 1 sentence, yeah? Just something that makes you different. There we go. We have this, I assume, is Henny. I am Gigi Hadi. I'm a model. One day I want to open a model school in Japan. I do yoga 15 minutes a day. I know the yoga part is true. I don't know about the model part. All right. Anyone else? Keep it going. Oh, we all right. We've got some good ones rolling in. Oh, someone did an exchange in Bali. That's great. Risky. Shanti has loved dance since the age of 8. Yeah, yes, he wants to open a Me I Am store in Las Vegas. I I support that. Cynthia, I love money. So I'm taking an accounting major. Ben Sanjaya. Wow, that is very unique. I would like to open up a 200-kilometer long parking lot. That's a lot of cars. All right, let's just get one or two more. These are great. These are all very different. I really appreciate it. All right. Let's see if I can get, okay, so last one. Okay, the last one is the parking lot. All right. So those of you who shared, thank you. For everyone else, don't stress, but I really recommend taking some time today to think about it. Like one or two things that you can share that make you different can be really important, because imagine like you have a meeting with an important person and there's 20 students from ESA Unggul. If all of you introduce yourselves like, hi, I'm a student at ESA Unggul. Hi, I'm a student at ESA Unggul. Hi, I'm a student at ESA Unggul, right? There's nothing that we can remember about you. So always try to remember like one or two things that make you different. Okay, moving on to our last and final tip. So when we're speaking or sharing in a new language, it's the same for me when I'm learning a new language. It's really hard to make long sentences. So we tend to keep our conversations and our thoughts very, very short, like yes, no, yes, maybe. One tip I have is always remember the word because can take you really far. So always just remember like, oh, am I using because to explain why? For example, let's go back to this introduction. I love Indomaret because they can do so many different things. I run every day because it gives me time to think. So last activity, what we're going to do is remember the things that make you different that you just shared in the chat. And can you highlight one sentence and share it again using because? So for example, our last student, Yunya, when I retire, I want to build a free school for children. Why? So I want to build a free school for children because da na 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 na. Or Erica, I'm getting a certificate to get a license to be a free driver. Why do you want to become a free driver? So please share because da na 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 na. So this is our last question, everyone. So remember, think of the sentence that you shared earlier, like what makes you different. But let's add a new component. So please tell us why. Please use because to expand your original sentence. Why do you want to open an IM store in Las Vegas? Let's see if we can get a couple to share. So again, the key is using the power of because, right? Okay, there we go. We got Glenn Sanjaya. I want a parking lot because I could park as many cars as I want. Mia wants to visit Korea soon because she likes Korean drama. Oh, great. Oh, yes, he wants to open a Mi-Hayam store in Las Vegas because you want Americans to know the flavors. I love that. Natalie wants to make East Nusa Tenggara a better place because I want to show the world that my home is beautiful. I love these sentences. These are really fantastic. Let me just give you one last round. So the ski because you want to practice your English with tourists on holiday at Kuta Beach. Thank you. Because education is important. I love these. So thank you all for sharing actively. I really, really appreciate it. So, oops. All right, so let's quickly review. I want to wrap up with our 3 tips. So number 1, it's very normal that you feel anxious, you feel stressed, you don't know what to say when you meet someone new, especially in a new language. Don't stress. Think of good questions. Good questions can really make a conversation move forward. It can really help communication move forward. But remember, we talked about follow-up questions. So don't ask 10 random questions. Listen to what they're saying, catch the topic, and try to ask a question about that topic. So that is really the key to good communication. So number 1, don't stress, ask questions. Number 2, very important, always think of 1 or 2 things that make you different from other people. This happens all the time where you have one class and every student kind of says the same thing to introduce themselves, right? It's important to have 1 or 2 things that really make you different. And number 3, if you're struggling to create longer sentences, longer thoughts, just remember the power of because. Telling us why, giving us the reason, because. This can really help you to explain and to expand your thoughts. So good luck, everyone. So great meeting all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Yuta. And now we can move to Q&A session for Mr. Yuta. If you have any questions, you can write the question in the chat box, or you can also turn on your turn on your microphone, and you can deliver the questions orally. Okay, I will give you time to write the questions, and please help me to let me know if there is a questions already. Okay, maybe we will wait. Okay, I think there is a question from Glenn Sanjaya. Hello, Mr. Yuta. I am planning to take the GLPT N1 near the end of this year. Seeing that you are a GP native, I'd like to ask, do you have any specific tips for me regarding so? Mr. Yuta, time is yours.
Great question. So I think, right, different languages have different qualities. For Japanese in particular, my number 1 recommendation, if you're just starting, don't start with writing, right? We have a tendency when we learn new languages, like when I'm learning Bahasa, I make flashcards for myself. And it's easy because we have the same writing system, you know? But for Japanese, if you try to start with the writing, you will want to give up. So do not start with the writing. start with the sounds, because actually Japanese pronunciation and sounds are quite straightforward, but the writing structure, the writing system for Japanese is really, really intimidating is the best word. So that's my number one advice. If you're learning Japanese for the first time, start with the sounds. Don't try to make flashcards, just memorize sounds, memorize words.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Yuta, for the answer. But fun fact, Mr. Yuta, by the law, is an American, not a Japanese, even though his parents are Japanese, isn't Mr. Yuta? Am I correct?
Yes, I love how you said that. Yes, by the law.
Yes, by the law. You are American.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any questions anymore? Or you can also turn on your microphone and ask questions to Mr. Yuta orally. It's okay if your questions didn't deliver well using English. Okay. Oh, the chat. Okay. This question is from Laurentius Omega. Mr. Yuta, have you watched new Kimetsu no Yaiba Katanji no Sato? Okay.
Honestly, I have no idea what that is. I assume, is it anime? But I have no idea. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have no idea.
Okay. So, Laurentius Omega, can you turn on your microphone and tell us what is that? Kimetsu no Yaiba. You can turn your microphone to tell us what is that? Hello, Laurentius? Okay. Q&A session is still ongoing. Do you have any question, guys? You can type the questions or use the microphone. Come on, questions. Or is it enough? No questions anymore? Okay, if there is no question anymore, I think it's time for us to move to the next session. And thank you very much for Miss Daniel, Miss Sim, and Mr. Yuta for the presentations and also the Q&A sessions. And I think we can go back to Alicia as the MC. Okay.
All participants of the speech,
Thank you, Efto, for your guide during the main session. And thank you, Miss Daniel, Miss Sim Inlia, and Mr. Yuta for your great presentation. I hope everyone also find the session very insightful and fun. Now we are at the last part of the event. Before we end the meeting, we will be listening to the closing speech by Ms. Rosalina Nugraheni as the Head of Language and Culture Center of Esa Unggul University. Please welcome Ms. Heni.
All participants of the speech,
Okay, sorry. Okay, so what would I say? Today is a very exciting day. I would like to thank all the speakers, Miss Danielle, okay, or Miss Danielle, because Yuta complaining me for calling Danielle, right? Okay, thank you very much for Miss Danielle for your insight about the importance of networking. Okay, and then thank you also for Miss or Ibu Shim for telling us the importance of learning Korean, right? So you know that nowadays learning Korean is very important. Not only that we can understand Korean drama or understand the K-pop, but it is also very beneficial when we want to start our career, especially in Korea. And then also, thank you for Yuta for sharing us the most interesting tips in learning language. Okay, so now to wrap up, I would like to tell students about this. Go out, okay, travel, explore the world, and then learn. Okay, learn the language, learn the culture, learn the knowledge, which maybe you will not be able to find if you only stay in class. Okay, so go out and travel. Learn as many languages as possible. Okay, so I would like to thank also to Efto and then Chia, okay, for leading this webinar today. Okay, thank you very much. And then thank you also for all the students for spending your time joining this webinar. See you again in the next event. Bye-bye.
all participants of the speech,
Thank you very much, Ms. Heni, for your closing speech. All right, now we will end our meeting today. Once again, thank you very much for all of the speakers and participants who joining us today. I am Alicia. Good afternoon, everyone. You may leave the Zoom now. And don't forget to fill the attendance list. Thank you.